So guys, today's Technical Tuesday piece, we're going to talk a little bit about the 12 steps of working a referral-based business. Nothing clears up call reluctance and helps us get out of our car and into the next business or the next home like a bunch of fresh referrals. So one thing I do want to preface this with is that hearing this on a Zoom one time and running out and trying it one day and finding out that it didn't work perfectly the first time doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It just means that you need practice at it. So just like anything, just like using the rebuttals, the first time or two or 5 or 10 time you use the rebuttals, they may or may not work for you. It doesn't mean they don't work. It just means that you might not be doing them quite smoothly just yet, and it needs practice. So please keep that in mind as you use these technical pieces. So again, the first step of 12 to run a referral-based business would be appeal to Miss Jones's heart of service. Okay, appeal to her heart of service. And you do that by saying, Miss Jones, there's one last thing that you could help me with. Okay, the hardest part of my job is catching up with people before something happens. I run across people every day who wish they could get this, but we're too late. So my job's really just to get the word out so people have a chance to hear about this before they need to. Because if somebody needs what I have, it's too late. Who do you know who, based on who you are, would give me 5 minutes? Who do you know who, based on who you are, would give me 5 minutes? Guys, that's the key part right there. You want somebody who you want people who the person you're in front of has influence over. Step 2. Ask the right way. Ask who questions, not do or can questions. Ask who, don't ask do or can. And here's an example. Here's the wrong way to ask. Don't ask, do you know anybody I should talk to about this? Guys, what's the answer? The answer is going to be either yes or no. If the answer is no, you're dead in the water. No, I don't know anybody. We know that's not true. But again, they're talking about psychographics. Who do I know who's interested? Don't ask, can you think of anybody I should talk to? Because if the answer is no, you're done. Best case scenario, the answer is yes. And then what do you have to do then? Well, who is it? So then you got to go back and ask the question the right way, the way you should have asked it the first time. Also, don't ask do or can questions. They have a 50% chance of yielding the answer no. The answer to a who question is usually a name. Instead, you want to ask, who do you know who would at least benefit from hearing about a program like this? Who do you know? Okay. And again, I would always encourage that based on who you are. Give me a couple minutes of their time. Number 3, put your head down and put pen to paper. Guys, just like when you go to the close, in order to get you covered, I got to make sure that you qualify. Put your head down. Great. The good news is you do qualify. Do you get your mail here or down at the post office? Head down, waiting for an address. Same thing here, guys. Assume they're going to give you referrals. All right. Number 4, give specific memory joggers. Give specific memory joggers. When Miss Jones needs help thinking of referrals, mention very specific memory joggers. From general to specific. Help them think of a specific face. Do you have any family in town? Oh, you do? Great. Brothers? Sisters? Oh, brothers. Okay, what's your oldest brother's name? Who do you know who owns a business here in town? Okay, who cuts your hair? Who's your mechanic? Guys, getting specific. Remember, write this down. Specific is terrific. Specific is terrific. The more specific you are, the more likely you are to get a name. Number 5, thank Mrs. Jones for giving you referrals. Let her know how helpful referrals are. Letting her know will encourage her to give you more. After you got 1 or 2, thank you so much. This is so helpful. I can't tell you how much time this saves me and how much the people you're sending will appreciate that you thought of them. Thank you. Who else do you know? Number 6, give yourself permission to take the time to get a lot of referrals. Give yourself permission to take the time to get a lot of referrals. When you have a cool, well-connected person giving you referrals, spend as much time as necessary to get as many referrals as you can. This is a very wise investment of your time. Guys, the last career I had before coming to Family Heritage, I was selling suits. They would tell us, if you're sitting down with a client who's giving you referral after referral after referral, you are better off missing your next appointment and rescheduling it than you are leaving a warm person that's giving you referrals. So give yourself the referrals. Of course, you'd call up and reschedule that appointment and apologize, but you never leave a person who's giving you referrals. Get them to continue. Who else? And guys, that's number 7. Ask who else, then shut up. Ask who else and then shut up. Don't ask anybody else unless you want Miss Jones to stop giving you referrals. Anybody else is a yes, no question. Do you know anyone else? Nope. I guess that's it. So just ask who else. Remember, guys, who, not do. Okay? Also, be okay with the awkward silence Miss Jones is thinking as she's thinking of your next client. That's okay. Sit there in silence. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of silence. Point number 8 on the 12 steps to work in a referral-based business. Let me pause for a second right there, guys. Is any of this helpful so far?
Yeah, Van, I like the part where you said give yourself permission to take up that time, because sometimes I feel like it takes a long time to get all the referrals, and that's a good perspective shift for me. That was helpful.
Good. Guys, some of us are so antsy to rush out and go do that next cold call that we'll just leave a person that's willing to give us referrals and make our job so much easier and make us so much more effective, right? I want to encourage everybody to take a look at their canvassing chart this morning before you head out to the field, or even if you're in the field already, just pull it up on your phone. Look at your closing percentage. If it's under 20%, then getting 10 plus referrals a day, that will get you over 20%. Promise you. And for a lot of you guys, the difference in closing 20% and closing 15%, guys, that's a difference in 1 out of 7 or 1 out of 5. That's a difference in you being able to get 30 demos and close 6 families versus getting 30 demos and closing 4. Big difference. Big difference. Point number 8, get really good pre-approach. Okay? Getting great pre-approach. That's kind of a lost art in the business, in the B2B. We used to get really great pre-approach when we sold residentially. When are they home? Is that a working mom or stay-at-home mom? Great. Who else who do they know? Heck, we'd even find out what kind of buyer are they and ask questions about them so we know which buying style they are, so we know how to approach them correctly. That's a little bit next level stuff. We won't go in that today. That's for another Zoom. But get really good pre-approach. Find out who, where, when, and the relationship. Okay? Who to ask for. Okay? Get the spouse's name and or the business partner's name also. Not just the referral, but their right hand. Get that name as well. When can you catch them best during the day? Are they more available during the morning, midday, or towards the end of the day? Where to see them? Work or home? What's the address? At least the street that it's on. Okay. You can fill in a lot of this stuff with Google or whitepages.com, but go ahead and ask the person in front of you. Save you a lot of time. And finally, what's the relationship to the referee? How do they know this person? Guys, my first ever group presentation that I ever got into was in Finn Auto Body in Woodbridge, Virginia. Tom Finn allowed me to come in. He bought a cancer ICU policy for me on a Tuesday, said I could come back on Friday, recommended that I bring some pizzas because his guys are very happy when they're not hungry. And I did exactly that. I also, before going back, got on the Google machine and did a Google search of all the body shops within a 50-mile radius of Woodbridge. And it was a lot of body shops. And I printed up that list. There was over 40 body shops on that list. And I showed up about 40 minutes early to that appointment and said, Tom, can I ask for your help on something? He said, sure, Vance, what's up? And I said, I put together a list of about 40 of your best friends. I'm going to go. And as I did that, I slid the piece of paper across the table. And I said, I know you know a lot of these people. I'm going to call on them anyway. I can cold call them like I did with you and roll the dice that they'll like me, 50-50. Or if I go see the people that you know first, my chances go through the roof. Would you help me out and mark down the folks that you know? He said, sure. You want some referrals, don't you? I said, yep, I'd love to help you. Absolutely. He referred me to 17 of those 40 body shops. Where do you think I went next? Think I went right back to cold calling, banging my head up against the wall, or you think I went to those 17 body shops and put the same list in front of those owners too and got referred to most of them that way? Guys, number 9, have a referral book. Have a referral book. You guys, if you are don't get overly caught in being lean and mean, in being slick and being the only thing that you carry in as an iPad. And you've got all this head junk that if you carry an extra notebook, you're going to, quote, look like a salesman. Guys, having a referral book, have a specific place with bound and numbered pages to help you keep all your referrals. Loose pieces of paper get lost, and lost referrals are no longer referrals. Okay. Have a specific place. And guys, most all the leaders on here have been exposed to the referral notebook that we've created. A lot of them have the tic-tac-toe sheets on it where you can get 9 referrals per page. At the front of that book, it has a list of memory joggers, about 45 or 50 different types of businesses that you can ask for. On the back, it has other businesses that you can get referred to as well, business referrals. And the very back page is actually the phone script to call on. So if you get referred to somebody who's off the beaten path, who's more than a 10, 15, 20 minute drive away, you want to call them before you go. And you want to say the right stuff. So I would encourage you guys, reach out to your direct leader if you'd like to have a referral notebook and have them get you one of those. Very, very simple to do. Guys, also, when you have a book that says referral notebook on it and it's sitting right there next to your iPad, you think that's a good little reminder for yourself to ask for referrals? Heck, I've been sitting in a demo before, and at the end, and people go, "What's that?" And I go, "Oh, that's my referral notebook." I guess this is the point where I'm supposed to ask you for referrals. Hey, let me ask you a question. Who do you know who? And that would be what triggered getting referrals. Because guys, guess what? All the people that get referrals, they didn't just start getting perfect at this from day one. They screwed up and forgot too. But they did things like put a big R on their hand to remind them to get referrals and to recruit. Okay, they carried a referral notebook around with them for a mental cue, a visual cue to remind them to ask. Just ask. All right. So number 9 is have a referral notebook. Number 10. Map your referrals geographically every morning. Or if you're not a morning person, you're more of a night owl, do it at night for the next day. Using the White Pages app to look up addresses if you don't have them. Use a program like Sales Navigator or Sales Rabbit or our CRM to geographically plot your referrals for the most efficient route. Do this every night or every morning and to form the habit of not getting backlogged. So plot your referrals geographically every morning. Okay. Number 11, down to the last two here, guys. Make a list every morning. Write out who you're going to see and when you're going to see them. Guys, nothing gets things done like creating a to-do list and marking people off a list. It just feels good. And as you're going to see these people you're marking off the list, you're going to be picking up 8 to 10 to 15 referrals from them as well. Guys, this can be the difference. This is what we're talking about right now. This is the difference in writing 100,000 in premium in a year and writing 200,000. It's a big difference. It's difference in making 30 grand to 40 grand a year or making 70 to 80. And I guarantee you, everyone who makes six figures in this business runs a referral-based business. They go see referrals. Number 12, don't forget about the neighbors. Sometimes the best part of a referral is the neighboring business or home. Don't forget about the neighbors. Here's a little thing to say. I was just over trying to catch up with John Smith. Okay, I got referred to him by Joe Smith, is his cousin. And while I was in the area, I thought I'd pop over here and introduce myself. So guys, you're dropping 2 additional names to catch up with a neighboring business. This will make sure your activity is high while working referrals, and it will create a new pipeline of referrals. Guys, I'm going to give you a bonus one for a baker's dozen today. Okay? Guys, when you're doing an enrollment, okay, most of the time we stop for lunch. Maybe not always, but oftentimes we'll take a quick little lunch break. Guys, make sure that when you're doing enrollments, you're hot, you're making more sales than normal, your closing percentage should be going up, your confidence level is high. Take some time in the middle of the day to get out of that business and go call on the neighbors. It's a lot of fun to walk into a business and say, hey, my name's Van Davenport with Globe Life Family Heritage. I'm actually next door doing an enrollment with XYZ company. And I wanted to pop in here and share with you what I do real quick. Guys, think about this. When you have nothing going on, and you're a little desperate and you're begging, that's when people kind of are like, nah, can you come back later? No, I'm busy right now. Guys, when you're really, really busy, people love working with somebody who's busy. So you just go ahead and beat them to the punch and say, hey, listen, love to see you now, but I can't. Matter of fact, I'm actually booked up the rest of the week next door, seeing those guys. We've had way more interest than the owner ever thought they would have. So it's taken a little bit longer. But I could get you on my calendar for the middle of next week. Why don't we just book a time for me to swing back and catch up with you? So guys, popping out again while you're hot, while your confidence is at an all-time high, while you're making sales, that confidence gets relayed to the business owner next door, to that HR person next door, to that manager next door, and let them know, hey, I'd love to catch up with you, but I can't right now. I'm way too busy. Matter of fact, I got to get back over there because I've got another dozen people to see this afternoon. The interest level's through the roof over there. And book appointments for your next week. Guys, do that to keep your pipeline full, because nothing is tougher than taking 3 or 4 days or sometimes a week to do a big enrollment, wrapping up that enrollment and having absolutely nothing on the books. That's what causes people to get off schedule. That's what causes sales to plummet, is when you have nothing scheduled after. So be sure that you are taking the time to schedule your next thing while you're in the middle of your current thing. So there's that overlap and you can just continue going. Because guys, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. Guys, I'll pause right there. Does anybody have any questions about anything that we've covered today on referrals, how to get them, how to properly call on them?
Your lifeline is your pipeline. I love it, Van. This is great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, just try this. Just go out today and try it and know that regardless of the results today, It works. I promise you, it works if you work. But take your notes and come home tonight and study those notes. Role play some of these things that you wrote down today with your spouse, with your leader. Practice them and get better at them. The better you get at them, you're going to find out, gosh, I'm running into a lot more open-minded people that are willing to give me referrals. And guess what? You're running into the same people you were running into 2 weeks ago that weren't giving you referrals. It's just that you leveled up and you took it upon yourself to get better. So guys, nobody can do your push-ups for you. Nobody can become a good referral gatherer for you. You've got to do it yourself. So if not now, when? If not you, who? So guys, let's take some of this today, go out and put it into practice, come home and practice it some more, put it into practice next week, guys. Do this about 2-3 weeks in a row. You're going to have yourself a great new habit. And if you do forget right now, take a pen and put a big R on your hand. That'll remind you to get referrals. It'll also remind you to recruit. Tip of the day. So guys, we've all been so very blessed, man. Let's go out right now and be a blessing today for somebody in our territory. Thanks a ton. Have a great day, guys. And remember, bonuses are tripled all month, baby. So let's max them out. Guys, thanks so much. Have a great day.